We'll be looking at a very specific subgenre today, namely movies set entirely, or at least almost entirely, in one location. And there have been some great ones out there, proving you don't need loads of special effects, action, car chases, and so on to make a hit film. Just by using the power of dialogue, the intensity of the actors, and pushing on the right claustrophobic buttons, it's possible to create a masterpiece. Classics that spring to mind are 12 Angry Men, Dial M for Murder, The Thing, Saw, Murder on the Orient Express, The Shining, The Breakfast Club, or Clerks. Films that fit this description can be divided into three categories. There are those set mostly in one location but have flashbacks to the past, those set almost entirely in one location, and lastly, the ones set in only one room. Let's take a closer look, starting with those set in one location but with flashbacks to the past. Take, for example, 127 Hours, where James Franco's character has his hand crushed by a boulder while hiking in the middle of nowhere. It's mostly a battle against the elements, but we also get to know the protagonist through a series of glimpses into his past. Our personal favorite is Quentin Tarantino's first film, Reservoir Dogs. Set in the aftermath of a heist gone wrong, the protagonist has been shot and lies in a puddle of blood as the story unfolds through flashbacks.
What's difficult is the blood sets. It dries, and you actually get stuck to your clothing, and it's quite painful. That was difficult. Just physically difficult. And it's shot in sequence. That whole section we shot in sequence, and so the blood would get more and more and more gradually as we film.
On to the next category, films shot almost entirely on one location. This might include, for example, one building and the very nearby surroundings, like with The Shining, The Thing, or another Tarantino flick, The Hateful Eight. The first 30 minutes or so of that one takes place outside a cabin, while the remaining 2.5 hours are set inside of it. Through the power of dialogue, the plot unfolds as the tension reaches a boiling point.
I mean, one of the aspects about it is because it's kind of more of a theatrical piece than like a normal script story where it's like, a bunch of different locations and it's all about the storytelling. When you write a more theatrical piece, you're plumbing the depths of the characters, and they're always expressing themselves in dialogue. And I actually think more meaningful things, if you're attuned to if you're connected to it, can come out. And so, it literally was in the plumbing of the depths of the characters as they tried to express themselves that some of the more profound things in the piece came out, where maybe me just sitting down as a writer was just trying to do a cool mystery.
And that brings us to the final category, movies set entirely in one space, almost as if you're watching a theater play. Ryan Reynolds' Buried is a good example, or the classic 12 Angry Men, which was adapted from the stage. It's just one or more actors relying on nothing but their words to tell a story. And when it's done properly, you won't be bored for a second. Look at Roman Polanski's Carnage, where two couples meet in an apartment because one of their kids hit the other couple's kid with a stick. What ensues is pure mayhem expressed through dialogue.
It was amazing, tough and challenging, and also claustrophobic. We were all stuck in that room, and when we would break for lunch, everyone would just scatter, like mice. We'd be like, okay, see you in an hour. We'd have to get outside and have to sometimes just get away from each other too, needing to just get a little bit of your own headspace to just concentrate.
A movie set in one location is one of the hardest genres to do as a director, but when they nail it, audiences are in for a treat. Like what you see? Subscribe to our channel for more exclusive clips.